connected today. So let's read this and then we'll discuss it a little bit. Thoughtfulness is kindness guided by empathy. It is carefully considering a course of action with discernment and honesty. It is giving importance to other people's needs. We think about them, observe what they need, and offer our help. We pay careful attention to their likes and dislikes and do things that give them happiness. We carefully consider how our actions will affect them. Thoughtfulness helps us to move beyond self-centeredness to become true companions. Little gifts of thoughtfulness can brighten someone's day. Lifelong thoughtfulness illumines our relationships with abiding joy and trust. This is just one of those feel-good virtues, isn't it? When someone is thoughtful of us and they do something out of the ordinary and they do something that we didn't expect, even maybe, and we're just moved by their consideration for us, by the love that they've shown for us, by the thoughtfulness that they've shown. It brings us great joy. And it does bring trust in a way that says, I trust that you're interested in what I need or what I like or what feels good to me. And so our ability to do that is critical to enhancing our relationships, enhancing our friendships with others. And I just find it interesting that we've gotten a similar word or virtue a couple of times this week. And usually when that happens, it means that it's something that I need to pay more than the usual attention to. And yet when I look at the world as a whole, wouldn't it be nice if everyone in the world was more thoughtful of those around them, of those in their community, of those in their family. And so I just, it's one of those things that I think we need more of, right? So how will I show thoughtfulness today? Well, let's see. What can I do to, it begins with the family, I believe, and even with ourselves. What am I going to do that's going to be thoughtful for myself? I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to try and work on some things that I've been putting off or not taking the time to do. And in so doing, I think it's going to bring me some joy knowing that those things are done. But so then the next step is, how am I going to show thoughtfulness in my family? And of course, I'm going to do what I can to offer my help to my wife, who has a lot of things going on today and needs to do some things for her mom. And so what can I do to help facilitate that or to make things easier for her? And then the next step is, what can I do? How can I show thoughtfulness in my community with friends or with acquaintances or with those that I meet? And I'm not really sure how that's going to work because I'm going to be home all day by myself. But maybe I could show thoughtfulness by sending a note to someone that I haven't talked to for a while, sending a note to someone that I know is struggling with, some mental health issues or with depression, or maybe it's just someone that I feel like might need a cheerful thought today. So those are ways that I can practice this today. And I often wonder, how is it that you're going to practice thoughtfulness today? What sort of kind acts are you going to show towards others that, where you recognize what their needs are, or recognize that they have something that would bring them a smile or joy or happiness, right? We're thoughtful so many times of our children, and this is one of those things when I think about parenting and I think about thoughtfulness. I think at times we need to step back and really see our kids for who they are, for the unique individuals that they are, and what is it that they need right now. Do they need rest? Would that help them? Sometimes that is what they need. Do they need encouragement? And probably they do. We all enjoy and appreciate encouragement. What is the thoughtful thing that we can do for them right now? And maybe, it's something, a meal that we can make that might, that they especially like. Or maybe it's doing something, listening in a way that helps them to hear their own voice and to hear themselves and to solve an issue or create a better feeling for themselves. There's so many things that we can do, but we have to be aware, right? And I think that comes from being present, and being aware, being mindful of what's happening with others and our relationship to that, and what we can do to encourage them and to bring about a great deal more happiness, and how we're going to affect them. So, the next question, of course, is how do we help our children to develop the thoughtfulness that's already in them? And that is, I think the very first thing is recognizing when they're being thoughtful and acknowledging it, right? So when they do a thoughtful act, when they share something, or when they take some sort of action that's demonstrates a form of thoughtfulness, then to recognize it as that and acknowledge them by just simply saying to them, I appreciate the thoughtfulness that you showed when you, and then whatever the behavior was, and then stop right there. There's no need for us to go into more about this. There's no need for us to say, and I wish that you would do it more often. That would just be that would devastate the whole thing, right? Or to say, but, blah, 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 that would devastate the whole thing. No, it's just enough. It is enough for us to simply acknowledge, I saw your thoughtfulness when you did this. And if they don't really know what thoughtfulness is, they'll begin to understand what the behaviors are that demonstrate it. And then as they get older, we can have more conversations about how we can demonstrate this virtue of thoughtfulness. It really is showing concern for others, right? And doing kind things for others. And that's what thoughtfulness is really all about. So those are my thoughts today about thoughtfulness. And I wonder, who has done something thoughtful for you recently? Is it something that you can show your thankfulness for, that you can show gratitude for, that you can speak to them about and thank them for? I always like to look at the virtues, not just in what I can do, but also when is it that others are demonstrating these virtues towards me? And am I acknowledging it in them? Am I acknowledging the thoughtfulness that someone has shown by saying that, by saying to them that thank you for that thoughtful act, or thank you for that those thoughtful words. It was encouraging to me. When we do that, we encourage the other person to continue to develop that virtue. So be aware of the virtues in others as they're demonstrated towards us. And it's a reminder to us also to grow that in ourselves. All right, everybody, thank you very much for being here today. These were my thoughts today about thoughtfulness, and I, as always, encourage everyone to continue to grow and develop and practice the virtues and the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. Until next time, bye.